Good morning or afternoon, depending on where you are. Thank you very much for joining me today for one of my favorite topics, talking about aging, anything related to aging really. But I'm happy to come to talk with you today about cognitive assessment in aging. And this is kind of a rough agenda. We're going to look at older adults as a group pretty quickly. And then a little bit of information about cognition and cognitive impairment, and look at some indications of need for cognitive assessment and some of the benefits of cognitive assessment. And then look at the at neurocognitive disorder, which is the new DSM-5 categorization of what we've previously thought of as dementing disorders, or previously categorized as dementing disorders. And then cover just a little bit about the assessment process and the domains that you would look at with a cognitive assessment. So first, just quickly, some information about older adults in general. Those of you who've seen me present anything related to do with aging or related to aging have seen this slide before. It's one of my favorites. You know that in 2011, the baby boomers began to celebrate their 65th birthdays. And on January 1st of 2011, 10,000 people a day began to turn 65. And that is happening every single day until December 31st, 2029. And at that point, the last of the baby boomers will turn 65. So the 65-plus population is projected to double to 71.5 million just by 2030, and then to increase to between 80 and 90 million by 2050. And the 85 and over population is projected to increase to close to 21 million, which is really, that's a rapidly growing group as well. This older population as a whole is often referred to by some different names depending on their age. So the young old are those ages 65 and through 74. The next group, the ages 75 through 84, is considered to be the middle old, and then those 85 and older are considered to be the old old. This graph just shows by percent the total U.S. population, and those over 65 you can see then that they currently make up a little more than 13% of the total population, and they're going to make up more than 20% of the population by 2040. So simply by virtue of the growth of the older population, the need for older adult-focused services is increasing rapidly. And this is really happening all over the world, not just in the United States. The world's oldest population is the fastest growing. So looking a little bit about what we know about this group, again, currently older adults make up about 13% of the population, but they have a much higher rate of interaction with healthcare services, of which we as psychologists are part of. You can see that they make up about 26% of all physician office visits, 35% of hospital stays, 34% of prescription use, 38% of all emergency medical service responses, 70% of home health use, of course 90% of all nursing home use. And they have multiple chronic conditions, and they experience more mental health conditions. 66% of older adults have multiple chronic conditions, versus 25% of the overall population having multiple chronic conditions. And you can see 20% meet the criteria for a psychological disorder.